All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time with Sports with Logan.
Good day.
What's up, man? How's it going? Welcome back to the podcast.
Thanks, buddy.
Sorry, for all the people that didn't maybe get a chance to listen to all episode 5, we had a little technical difficulties on Logan's side last time. I unfortunately had to do the Urinemythoughts and a little bit of brief sports for him. We figured it out. And fan mail, if anybody wants to send them, he actually has his own email now. It's exciting news. Logan@beardlaws.com. It's official, like a referee with a whistle. So if any fans out there want to send him a message, have at it.
I'm excited about that. I hope I get some weird, cool messages.
I'm sure you will.
I cannot promise I will respond in a timely manner, considering the fact that I have trouble peeing and taking silhouette pictures while working a phone. So
yeah, so there's that. And it was quite the process to get him to have the email, put the email on the phone, but we did it. Fucking teamwork. A podcast high five. Bam. So baseball. ALCS, NLCS are official now that the Astros and Garrett Cole pitch an absolute fucking gem.
Ooh.
Tied Mike Mussina for the second most Ks in back-to-back starts in the postseason games with 25.
Yeah, and set a major league record with, what is it, I believe 11 straight with 10 plus.
Yeah,
including postseason 11 straight with 10 plus. Is it 11 or 12? Yeah, that's crazy. 10 plus strikeouts in that many games. That's think about that. That's beyond what we would know as Verlander or Scherzer. That goes beyond Nolan Ryan.
Yeah, it's unreal.
Those guys, like that's insane.
Yeah, and imagine if him and a couple of these guys that are in Tampa Bay were still in a Pirates uniform. Hey, that'd be fucking cool. But
details, bud, details. But when you think about that going into including 2 postseason games, you're dealing with a postseason roster that's amped up and ready to hit, like a very, very, very darn good Rays team.
Oh yeah,
that can hit.
Yeah, they're playing hot, but man, he shut them down twice. And now he's got the Yankees, who are no joke.
No joke. And I'm saddened for the Rays. Good team, great team. Last year they didn't make the playoffs with 90 wins. This year they had, I believe, 95, 96, and they made the playoffs and made a good run into a buzzsaw like that. But in my standpoint, if you really don't like the Yankees like I don't, go ahead, people, send your mail.
That's Logan@beardlaws.com.
If I want the Yankees to lose, then I need the Astros to win on that one. I think not saying the Rays can't, because the Rays clearly can beat the Yankees. They might actually single hit them to death, but the power team is the one that needs to go up against the Yankee team right now. That's playing pretty good. The pitching isn't as nearly as bad as it was 2 months ago. So
I hope you just jinxed them. I really do. But then again, they played the Twins. Not that the Twins are a terrible team, but let's be honest, they're probably the worst team in the playoffs.
Yeah. If you ask the Twins who their daddy is, they're just going to see reference Pedro Martinez.
Yeah, right.
That's all there is to it.
So ALCS, who do you see coming out of there going in the World Series?
6 games, Astros.
Yeah, I like that. That's what I'm hoping anyways.
With the Yankees having one major blowout where they beat the Astros probably by 8 runs.
Yeah. I'm going to say the Yankees come out, win game 1. Astros win a couple. Yankees win 1. Astros finish them off. Hopefully in New York. Yeah. Because I hate that goddamn song.
Right. I love this. I love Sinatra and I love New York. I just hate it when it's tied to the pinstripes.
Exactly. NLCS, What do you got?
That's, my grandfather was a big Cardinals fan. My second team other than the Jays is the Cardinals. Not because I'm front running, but because of my grandfather. No,
because you have a thing for birds.
I got a thing for birds, apparently. I've always liked the Cardinals. And Yadi Molina is my favorite. My favorite, if I had to pick, if I was 10, if I had to pick a favorite player right now, it'd be Yadi Molina, and has been for quite a while. At least a guy not named Jose Bautista. So I got to go with the Cards. I think it's going to be very tough to get past the Nationals. The Nationals' big test was to win the first series, and they won the first series over the best team in the National League, over the Dodgers. Yep. They're going to be flying pretty high.
Oh
The
yeah.
Car- the Cardinals come back versus the Braves, pretty good. I don't know if they're pitching because they won't start with Flaherty.
No.
And the Dodgers can start with probably Ryu, Cardinals with Wainwright, and he may or may not be really good Wainwright. I'm gonna say I want the Cardinals to win. If the Cardinals win, it's gonna be in 7, but the Nationals will probably win in 5.
Wow. See, I want the Nationals to win, but I
Throw
have
it.
to go with I think the Cards are a better team right here. It's one of those weird things. National League 1-2 team gone. AL 1-2 team in it.
Yeah.
No.
If the Cardinals put it this way, if the Cardinals play what they call the Cardinal way, which is much better defense than they've been playing, and much I guess not much better. That doesn't really make sense for this next part, but like if they play a little bit more small ball and a little bit more what baseball purists would think of as the Cardinal way baseball, then they can beat the Nationals for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
Or if they
just
put up 13 runs, they'll beat anybody.
But yeah, that helps. And the one thing the Nationals did do is use up a ton of pitching in this series, so you're
True.
gonna have a little bit of a layover off that.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
go Cards, man. That's what I'm saying. Go Cards.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Uh,
go. I'd love to see an Astros, Washington.
If I'm a
The good
betting,
thing is it's pretty much all East Coast, so we don't have to worry about late World Series games.
I'll get to that later.
All right. Well, if you want to rant, let's get your rant. Let's get through some of your notes, and then we'll finish strong with your and my thoughts.
All right. As I listen to MLB Network a lot. Cheap plug, but on the radio. But well, that's what I do. They made a point today. Can't remember who said it. I apologize for not trying to steal it, but not referencing. Someone asked if maybe Dave Roberts pitched Kershaw because the upper management tells him to or whatever. So I feel bad for the managers who have to deal with that analytic type in a game situation. I understand preparedness and going into a series saying, okay, we're playing Baltimore or we're playing even the Rays are a good team. Like there's analytics to it. Like it is what it is, right? There's no getting around it. But if let's say someone like Dave Roberts or any manager is making a call in the 7th inning or beyond of any game, especially if you're a team that's contending, but like going into the playoffs, come the 5th inning, those analytics can suck it. Like
100%.
You cannot go with, well, he faces right-handed batters with an open stance on Tuesdays after 6:00. Their BABIP is what? Shut up. You know what? A good manager knows a hot hand. He knows his team. A good manager knows the opposition just by looking at him. Like I worry that like they've made a lot of points about not just Kershaw, and I feel awful for Kershaw because he's great, but he's like Maddox, not great in the postseason.
Yeah.
Overexposed. But like you'd hate to think that a manager is forced to stick with the game plan just because that's the game plan and it's set in stone. Now going back, of course, you'd think the upper management was, well, you could have changed that, but I think deep down that they couldn't have. That if they changed it and things went wrong, then they'd say you should have stuck with our plan. Then he's fired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a micromanaging from the top upper echelons of the general manager and owner and the analytic team. But the moment the analytic team becomes more important on the field, I think you're going to lose a lot of baseball, a lot of good baseball and good baseball fans and players.
And a lot of those teams that base it off the analytics, they get there, but they never get over that hump. And it's crazy to like you are the number one team in the National League. You got to that spot by playing the way you play. You need your bullpen. You need your relievers, the guys that have been there all year, that have battled for you. They bust their ass all off season, during the season, and then you go with that stupid shit where let's throw Kershaw in.
Right.
Let your boys do what they do.
Like you can't tell me in a game like that you only have 2 relievers out of the probably 12 or 13 they have on the roster. You only have 2 relievers that you're going to use in a deciding game 5. You're going to use Kershaw and then Joe Kelly, who can be really good, can be really bad, but there is definitely something to be said for a reliever who either finishes out an inning or sits an inning while your team bats and then goes back out. Relievers aren't built like that anymore.
Nope.
They're like I guess you'd say like a caged bull in a rodeo. You send him out once. You don't send him back out again until you tie his balls up again. Like
exactly.
You can't let him just run around and hang out with the clowns and then like expect him just to start jumping again.
Kershaw's balls were not banded properly.
Like, yeah, if you're gonna send out Kershaw, grab his balls first. Piss him off. Grab like Joe Kelly. Joe Kelly can be really good in quick spurts. But you go from Joe Kelly to Kenley Jansen in the 10th? Come on.
Yeah. Not a good move.
Closer. But you have other options in your bullpen. You won 106 games? Pretty sure to do that in any big game you use more than 2 relievers.
Agree. Plus don't they do an expanded roster for playoffs or no?
No.
No.
I think they do the 40-man, then you have to go to the 25, maybe. I think it's only 25, maybe 26. But you can switch your roster if someone gets hurt.
Right. Then somebody goes down in the locker room, and you're like, let's just throw another bullpen guy in. Fuck it.
Yeah. Usually what happens. But that's just like, come on. Yes, is Kershaw one of your betters? Absolutely. If you want to send him out there to get one out, have at it. I still don't even like that.
No, I'm not a fan.
But and of course, all the papers and the TVs. Oh, Kershaw owned up to it. Well, yeah, he did because he's a fucking man. Kershaw is a man among boys when it comes to baseball. But he's been around so long. He doesn't throw 97 anymore. Like that's not reliever material.
No. Yeah,
that might be get one out material. And yes, he gave up 2. Like you got a little bit of a cushion, but he come in and it's unfortunate. But he shouldn't have been the guy in that situation.
Agree. And then of course if it works, then we're geniuses and we're not even talking about it. But it didn't.
But if it works, then you're just like, wow, geez, that was a good idea. But like, let's say they win, right? What confidence are you showing in Kenley Jansen and any other reliever on there?
Yeah.
Why isn't Maeda throwing? Yeah, he threw the day before. Who gives a shit? He at least comes out of the bullpen. The only time Kershaw ever comes out of the bullpen is in a playoff game to lose.
Right. Yeah.
Don't put him in bad situations.
Yeah, it
makes me mad, I guess.
Yeah, I was pretty pissed about it. Me and Greg were talking about it this morning on breakfast.
It doesn't make any sense. And so for that fact, Dave Roberts, come on, man. Reach down and give him a tug.
Yeah, give your balls a tug.
Yeah, that's what I said. Give your balls a tug, to quote our good friends at Letterkenny. The Atlanta Braves, I feel bad for. I'm rooting for the Cardinals all the way. Love me some Josh Donaldson, like Brian Snicker, like the Atlanta Braves organization. They're going to be around for a long time, but 13-1 is not a way to go out.
10-0 in what, the first?
Whoo! That's bad. Fulton Evans didn't have it. What it is. There's not a whole lot you can say about that other than it for the fans of Atlanta and the organization. That might be a step back going to start next year, just because that is a kick in the dickhead right there.
And you know what the best part was? TBS was like, very funny.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, you see,
it's unfortunate that happened. Like even 8-3 isn't as bad as being down 10-0 like the game was over.
Yeah, it was just. I mean, I would have. Being a fan, you spend all that money. You're in the game 5, and it's 10-0 in the first, and you're like, "Fuck! How many $12 beers can I really drink right now?"
Right. I went to those Jays playoffs games in 15 and 16. Like if that had happened, I would have stayed, but I would have been so effing miserable and drunk I would have missed my train back.
Yeah.
I would have been a homeless man in Toronto and may not have come home to my wife and kids. Ever. Yeah.
It would have been unfortunate.
It probably would have ended up on a forensic files thing.
We wouldn't have had sports with Logan or Urinemythoughts.
Sure. Oh, one last quick thing. Randy Arozarena, if you can say that name, I can't remember. The guy that put on the social media, Mike Schultz, incentive-laden comments after the Cardinals won.
I didn't see it.
All right. So, anyways, Mike Schultz, manager of the Cardinals. All right. So, like, he goes off and like they just won. They're in the clubhouse. He's going off like the Braves started this shit. we finished this shit. Fuck these guys. Like, we fucking won. Like, it's nothing against the Braves.
He's just in the moment, and he's just pumped.
He's in the moment. He's trying to pump his team up. And this idiot kid freaking posted on social media after. Like, the clubhouse is sacred. It used to be more it is, but like when you have your team moments, I do that stuff with my varsity guys. Like when you're between the lines, like no one knows what goes on. We don't talk about that. You've been there with us. Like, yeah, that's sacred stuff. And this dude put it on social media. Took it off shortly after, I'm sure, after he was
But everybody probably already saw it, had it, downloaded it.
Oh, yeah. As soon as ESPN knows, you're done.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's cameras and stuff in there, but not all the time, not in those moments.
Right.
Did he get fined?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he might be released.
Yeah. Maybe he's working for a camera company, you know?
It'll be interesting to see if he's on the roster for the next one.
Yeah. Well, keep an eye on that, and we'll report back episode 7.
Right you are. All right. You're in my thoughts. East Coast playoff baseball fans. I am not one to ever consider myself unlucky or throw the old woe is me thing, unless I'm at work. But that's different. East Coast baseball playoff fans, or playoff baseball fans, however you want to say it, I feel bad for us because all year we are trained that the East Coast absolutely rules. We rule Sunday night baseball. We rule day games. Like they have day games starting in Oakland sometimes at 1 or 2 o'clock. So those poor assholes have to be at the ballpark at 11. They have to be at the ballpark at 9:30 to get their seats and beers. Like that's not fair because the East Coast time zone and the TV and all that stuff. But as soon as playoff baseball comes around, I can't start a game until at least 8:30. And considering the fact that most East Coast teams, a lot of them usually end up in the playoffs, I have to completely change everything, including my routine with my children, so that I can avoid them and my wife while they all run around me screaming. She's cooking and cleaning, and I pick up in between innings. But during the game, I don't move from 8 till, 11:30. Oh, by the way, then the other game starts.
Yep.
Last night, I laid down with one of the kids and fell asleep, 9 o'clock. I woke up at 12 and was like, oh, good, I can catch some more game. I came downstairs for the first pitch of the 10th inning of last night's game.
Wow, good timing.
Now, granted, I did my research for the whole Clayton Kershaw bit I did earlier, but like, come on, man.
That's one long pee.
Yeah. Have it start at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. That's 4 o'clock. Although a West Coast game, you think the LA Dodgers want to play their a deciding game at 4 o'clock? No way.
No.
So what was us for the East Coast? Because anytime a West Coast team gets there, they win because they at least get almost regular starting times for playoff baseball.
Yeah.
But I still bullshit.
It's funny that we both had those thoughts.
Much like a relief corps, don't change how you got there, bud. Keep those games at 4 o'clock. I'm all happy. I'll get out of work. I've done it before. I once, when the Jays were playing against Texas, it was raining out and I was selling cars. I went and decided to move the lot. The only cars I moved were cars with Sirius radio, and I disappeared from work for 2.5 hours. I went inside to pee and to exchange some keys. My boss was like, "Where's Logan?" And they were like, he's outside moving cars. He goes, "Listen to the games?" Yep. He goes, "Okay, just leave him alone."
Leave him alone. He's being good.
Leave him alone. He's being good. He's not pissing off anybody. Good enough.
Yeah, that's funny. Like I had the same kind of thought in my head earlier, and you were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! We'll get to that later." And now I know why.
Yeah, it's different. Although when you think about it, it's like, okay, fair enough. Like that makes sense. If I was in LA all year long, I'd be pissed. Anytime you're on the Central or East Coast, I mean, those you gotta be up at what 1 o'clock game in Toronto starts at 10.
Yeah,
that's no way to watch a Saturday. Enjoy your Saturday baseball. No way.
Yeah, if you're hungover though, and you start watching baseball, and like, well, I gotta have a beer, probably makes the day better.
I suppose in Hollywood everything runs more in the nighttime. So maybe you just don't go to bed if you're a baseball fan. And like after the game at like 1 o'clock, you sleep till 8. You go out, bartend, work, whore, do whatever, and then Uber.
Uber.
Maybe that's how it works. Maybe LA is just full of Draculas.
I think so.
Probably.
We figured it out.
I think I did.
That's why it smells like garlic when there's a strong wind from the west.
No doubt.
It's everybody trying to get rid of the vampires.
Imagine just driving through the redwood. I've driven through the redwoods in California. It's the only California I've ever been to, other than no, that's not true. I went to Santa Barbara. Never mind. But anyways, imagine just driving through LA and be like,
fucking smells like garlic.
Fucking garlic.
We heard it first on Beard Laws Podcast. Why it smells like garlic in California.
Yep, Dracula's.